Welcome to the Phycologist podcast, guys.
Welcome back, guys, for another great episode.
Another great episode, and Harvey and I are just kind of talking, right?
Just talking. I just wanted to know what he learned this past week, and he was about to go off on something. I said, wait, let's turn the camera on, get this mic going.
I was about to go off on something, and, I'll start it off with a recommendation.
Okay.
Because I think it's already super good, and I haven't fully finished it yet.
Okay.
But it's already done a lot in giving you tools that are practical.
Okay.
And so Jonah Hill recently came out with a documentary. The thing is, guys, I was going to tell Harvey this normally.
Yeah, tell me this.
So it's just like, okay, so he came out with a documentary.
Yeah.
About his therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, my point of making this is for you to share your tools and hopefully they can help other people. So he's a psychiatrist, and that's his therapist, and he emphasizes, your friends give you unsolicited advice, and you listen, but a therapist is actually going to give you advice that's good for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he uses tools, and one major component that I was just about to tell Harvey is there's 3 things in life that you will always have, and they're like maybe not the best things. It's pain, uncertainty, and consistent work.
Oh.
So, that's the only things in life that you cannot avoid. These are 3 things in life you're always gonna have. That's the thing you're always gonna have to be combating against.
Yeah.
Moments of uncertainty. Something happens. feeling pain versus something. Going to work, doing some type of work every day.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Uh-uh.
And that already is kind of a major premise too. If you really think about it, becoming aware that these are 3 things that are certain in life that I have to deal with consistently, then you can move differently when you know and now you're aware of it. So he gives you tools. I'll just name tools, but I would recommend watching him.
Yeah.
So he uses this thing called the maze. He uses the string of pearls. He uses radical acceptance. He uses it's mind blowing, Harvey.
Can you explain the radical acceptance one?
Radical acceptance is moments of adversity. That's when opportunity is the most prevalent. So you can take whatever it was, and maybe it could be seen as the worst situation ever, but you have the ability to tell yourself you can extract all the good. He says it like that. You can extract all the good you can from that, and then you change the meaning that event or whatever it was has to you.
That's good.
It's insane.
That's really good.
And the thing is, every time, as you're watching this, guys, he says that all his patients have note cards, and he writes visualizations of these tools, so you visualize it. And I think one good one is also the string of pearls. And the string of pearls consists of, acknowledging that you're the one that gets to put the pearl on the string. So every day, whether it's a major success or it's a major failure, you keep going because you're the one who puts the pearl on the string. So it's just about, it's basically affirming to keep going, even if it's a good or a bad thing, but you're kind of the one that identifies it as that. So it's not that it's a good or a bad thing, but how you see it. But no matter what, just be aware that you're the one to do that. Oh man, but he explains it so well, guys, and I don't want to butcher it because I even told myself I was gonna take notes. I was taking notes, and then I was like, you know what? I need to watch this fully through, then go back and want to take notes.
Wow, that's good.
Because it really is that impactful, bro. And that's why, it's good that we talked about it, because I was going to recommend it to you to watch it, and I recommend everyone here to watch that, and I think it's going to definitely add things that are, because he emphasizes being practical, giving them something they need now, and something that they can do now in order to change.
So that's movie recommendation of the week.
I think it's called Stutz.
Stutz.
And that's his name.
On Netflix.
That's his actual name of the psychiatrist.
Watch Stutz on Netflix.
It's trippy, guys. It's going to blow your mind.
I'm actually excited for that because the tools are very important just from those 2 tidbits that you gave me.
The tools are very important. I'll give this other one too that really hit me, which is the maze. So we all have kind of a story that we tell ourselves based on maybe an event. For his example, his mom growing up just always talked about how she hated men. Men are the worst. He would say that he would sit down and his mom would just go off to him about how men this and men that and men this. You know, he took that, you know, and now he has like a narrative, right? He could be stuck in a narrative, which is the maze, that, oh, you know, this caused this because mom always talking about me not being a man, or this and this and that. The thing is, the maze is always there, though, he talks about. But now when you know that it's a maze and you can get in a thought pattern of a pity party, and you're in a maze, you're just going in a maze back and forth. But if you can be aware that that you're in a maze, then you can get out of it. And once you start eventually, you know, doing that, you can eventually get out of it quicker.
When you realize you're in a maze.
When you realize you're in a maze. So, like, you know, for example, if I were to think about past moments of very vulnerable states of mind, of when, you know, just like, for example, if my dad was still alive, you know, if my dad didn't pass away, I would be in a maze. Or I could be in a maze of, like, you know, what if he was here? Oh, maybe I could have been a better man. Maybe I could have done this. I could have learned how to do this. I could have learned how to do this. My whole life would be different. But you know what? It's a maze, guys.
You put yourself in
and
the
you're
maze.
putting yourself in a maze, and you need to tell yourself, though, that you can get out of that maze. And then that's where radical acceptance, you know, it happened, but now I'm going to squeeze all the good that I can.
Dang.
And then now it changed a different meaning, you know. You know, thankfully now I've definitely healed and, you know, went through moments of grieving. But, you know, you have to go through these steps. But then radical acceptance really emphasizes how each moment, no matter what, and he says, like, has a good thing that comes out of it. Like, no matter what, whatever you do, and if you can't, just listen, you will be able to.
You will be able to.
You just have to find it. You have to be a willingness, and then that's going to change that meaning for you. Oh, and then part X, actually. Part X is a major one. Part X is the bad person in us. That's the guy that wants to fuck us up. That's the guy that's like, oh, just chill today. Or that's the guy that's like, we're not going to do anything today. You know, that's the guy that's trying to go against all those three essential things that are in life. You have to go through these guys.
Trying to avoid pain.
Trying to avoid pain.
Avoid working. And trying to avoid uncertainty. Oh, dang. So this guy's, that part X is a control freak. Yeah. He's also a liar because he's lying to you that there is no stay away from pain. Yeah. And a procrastinator.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Dang. That's a good way to put it, too.
Like, that's not good qualities.
Not good qualities. And the thing is, he even says, like, that's always going to be a part of you, though.
Oh, I hate that.
Always going to be a part of
goodness.
You. You know, it's always a thing that you have to combat, and that's why you have tools. And I think a shadow is like all those adversity moments, and that ties in with, you know, the radical acceptance. That ties in with the maze. You know, the shadow is maybe if you close your eyes, and he did this example, and I think I can maybe kind of replicate it amateurly, guys. Don't take me so seriously. Watch it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's true. Watch it.
So he says you close your eyes. Okay, think about a moment where, you know, something hit you so hard, and it left maybe a major scar, something you always think about, but you kind of suppress it a little bit. You know, for Jonah Hill, even though he's a multi-millionaire, famous movie actor, for him it was 16-year-old overweight kid, everyone made fun of, this and that, and he says, talk to him, you know, how would he feel, how would that person feel if I didn't acknowledge him, if I didn't, you know, be like, hey, you know, I'm that person, but I'm here now still, and you just try to completely erase that part of you. You know, he wouldn't feel like you did him just.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a way to heal, but also know that you're giving him his space, because you were that at one point. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's knowing that you moved on. And if you think about it now, he's probably like, whoa, you know, we did that.
Oh, I see. It's like making peace with that part of your past, because he's still inside of you. He's still a part of you.
He's still inside of you. And you can have it's a relationship you have, right? You can have a far relationship where you try to avoid ever thinking about that or that moment. But, you know, that's always going to be something that's going to start digging at you. And then, you know, it's a thing. It's an exercise. It's another tool, guys. Another tool.
That's really good. I like how, like, maybe it's not meant to be in steps, but I see it as steps. Like, I realize that sometimes you put yourself in a maze where you're wandering anywhere. You're going down the what ifs. They were still here. What if? Any scenario. And then you realize, wait, I'm in a maze. I put myself in this maze. This maze technically doesn't exist because I'm the one, reaching those walls. I'm the one reaching those dead ends constantly because it takes me nowhere. I'm just stuck. And then you take yourself out of that, and then you have what's called acceptance, right? Or
radical acceptance.
And you're like, well, this happened, right? And you accept that it happened. And despite it being so bad, if you have the willingness, you can always extract good out of that situation.
You have to extract the most, like the most, where you're not even thinking about bad anymore. You're thinking about all the good that came out of it, even if it's the worst situation ever. And I think that's why it's radical acceptance. It's like, whoa, you're really just gonna forget all the bad that just happened and just accept it like that. I think that's part of it too. Keep going though, and then I'll mention one more thing after that. You reminded me of as you were speaking.
Mention it because it's gonna tie in.
Okay, so there's 3 pillars too. Actually, like people always ask themselves, like, oh, I don't know what to do, or where should I go, or maybe they're lost on a path or a journey. And again, I don't know if I'm saying this 100% correctly, but there's 3 pillars. First, it's your body, the people in your life, your relationships, and yourself. So first off, to try to make yourself feel better, you got to take care of your body. This is your life force. That's what he called it, and I'm remembering now more. Your life force is your body. This is the thing that's going to carry you, take care of you, do all these things. This is your vessel. You have to take care of that first. And then say you're all good there, right? And then you can start to address, how are my relationships? Like, how am I in relationships with my parents? How are my relationships with my friends? Because these are, very impactful. The innate human in us always wants to socialize. Oh, even part X is that guy that wants to be antisocial. That's that guy's like, oh, don't go out, stay inside, or oh, we're fine alone. Dang. That's part X, guys.
That's a risky character, right?
But if you know that you have these 3 pillars, that most likely you'll feel so much better if you address these as they are. That's just steps towards leading you into using all these tools, right? Basically, if you start with your body, you notice, oh, maybe I'm not in the best state. Maybe I'm a little overweight, maybe this and that. Obviously, there's illnesses. And this guy, actually, the therapist, he has Parkinson's. So he goes into it, guys. Yeah. So if you're like, oh, but I have this and that. Well, he has Parkinson's. He has a life, too. Yeah. And, he's an expert, too. So listen to him and not me. I am paraphrasing.
Yeah, dude, this sounds... I definitely need to watch this one. This sounds really good so far. Because you're right. There's situations that come up out of nowhere. And you're like, dang, and... from that stem point, from that significant change, your mind can take you all different types of places. But there's tools, there's pillars and foundations that you got to focus on. There's things that you still have yet to work on and do to get over that hump, or just be successful in all those areas of life.
Definitely.
So that's really good stuff right there. I like that.
And I'm still not fully through because honestly, in that moment, I was also with my girl, and we were kind of just having extremely long, very deep, thought-provoking conversations based on these things. We honestly had therapy sessions. It was like we're able to use these tools, and we're able to talk about things in the past and moments where you just kind of need to talk. And these tools allow you to feel better. And it's basically, it's therapy, guys. I mean, he's a psychiatrist, it's therapy, and you get to do it. And he's giving you these tools. And I think that's why, even while I was watching, I was like, whoa, Jonah Hill is doing something amazing here. Even though you'll see it's still mind-blowing, the twist. And, I just extracted that from that. And it's already, I can see it impacted so much.
No, that's good. I feel like everyone should watch that and then run through and actually apply these things into their own life. Because even that example that you mentioned of you look back at things where you can put yourself in a maze, but knowing that there's always you have to squeeze the most out of it to see how it directly affects you in a positive way. Like what did this lead to, and what did this end up doing? And I think that's super important, because that's the only way you can overcome things like that. Because if you only see the worst and everything that bad that it did into your life, there's no growth in that.
No growth.
But if you, like you said, extract the most out of it, and what did this do to me? What did it do to my character? Then there it starts growth. That's when you start to learn and comprehend and just prioritize things. It's actually crazy that you're talking about this at this exact time, because something unfortunate happened last week, and there are moments where I've realized what is the lesson here? What can I take away? It can't just be something that happened to me and let life happen to me and then that's it. And then, just keep on being the same. Like you said, you extract things out of it and it does something to your character when you actually learn from it rather than use it to stay in a state of despair, state of grieving, a state of those negative emotions, But yeah, no, one of those lessons is definitely that, the assumption that there will always be time was my main takeaway, this past week. Just the assumption that, there's always extra time. There's always, next time. There's always all this, because that's not true. That's just a very naive thinking that there'll always be time to do the things that you need to do. And so extracting that from that is definitely, I can see it adding to my character, because now I'm just like, I want to do more. I want to be able to do more. I want to be more for people. And then, hearing those tools and everything you just mentioned, I want to definitely go watch that and extract more from it.
No, I'm saying, and I think, me too. And I feel like that, this conversation started, and I think it started for a reason, I'll say.
I believe it.
And it definitely, it's crazy too, because we were like, I'm being honest, right? We didn't even know what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
We didn't even know. But we're here, and this is what I was just gonna tell Harvey normally, so, and then he just stops me, and I guess this is a perfect moment, not only for ourselves to become better and use these tools, but everyone listening real time. These are practical things that you can do that will actually make the difference.
Yeah.
And it's from experts. It's from a man that's been doing this, and I just think, he likes to emphasize that. He wants to show you that if you can show someone that they can change quickly, he says he wants speed. That's what he wants. Good. And if he can do that for you quickly, then that gives you hope. That's like, there is a possibility of change. There is a possibility of something moving differently, of something being differently. I can become something else. And one thing too, going back to the string of pearls, was emphasizing how each day you just got to keep moving forward. You got to keep moving forward. And he emphasizes that so much. Just taking action, moving forward. And you're taking action right now. Could be go linked to listen to that, using these tools and applying them immediately.
That's true.
And I think I'll say that I guarantee you, because he actually even said that in the very beginning. I guarantee you 100% change can happen.
That's awesome. I like that speed is being emphasized a lot more in things, because people think quick is bad, but it's not that quick is bad or scammy or seems unbelievable. It's the easy part that is. So, be wary of when people say it's easy, because chances are it's not going to be easy.
That's
but
true.
It can always be quick. Change can happen. We always say this, change can happen whenever you want it to happen. It can be quick, but it definitely can't be easy. This stuff isn't easy. You have to put through the process. There's things you have to do, but just accept that it can be quick. Like you said, that gives you hope. That gives you motivation, and it inspires you to keep going forward. So just be wary of the easy stuff. But with any topic, by the way, know that it can happen quickly if you allow it to. If you're the person that develops that sense of urgency. But yeah, no, I definitely want to watch it now.
Yeah, please. And I think there's a difference too, where someone's like, "Oh, pay this amount and you'll become this quickly,"
Yeah.
It's free. It's free, guys.
Free.
He's not asking for anything. He doesn't really even care that a movie was being made about him. You should, just when you start to understand how the person is and their relationship with Jonah Hill, very like, satire, joking.
That's cool.
But they're very aware of how they are with each other.
Really cool.
Moments where they're, engaging in conversation, they get very deep, about their lives and maybe trauma. And then they can both acknowledge, hey, don't go into, jokes, don't go into your stand-up, because, you're kind of just joking to avoid the feelings, the emotion. And it's funny because they're so aware of that,
That's crazy.
And maybe in day-to-day life you might be doing that unconsciously, but it's a real thing.
Oh dang, yeah, that's true, huh?
And it's funny, and I could just say that again. I recommend Stutz on
Netflix, guys.
On Netflix, guys.
But before you do, leave us a like, review.
There comment, you go.
Do all that good stuff.
Do all that. We appreciate you, and have a great. Harvey, anything actually?
No, that's it. Have a great day.